Hey class, so today we're going to talk about some important factors on immigration, hate and bullying, and race and racism. Okay, so the first lesson is immigration. So I want you to tell me about 3 myths that people assume about immigration, things that they wouldn't normally know without any prior knowledge.
So you want 3 facts, right, Prof? All right, for sure. Let's see. I guess everybody think that immigrants are like all Latinos, like Mexicans, cause like everybody from Mexico, shit. Like what about them Asians and like African Americans, cause and all the immigrants are taking all the jobs. Like yeah, well, damn white people, hey, they have jobs too. Okay, like we ain't taking everything. Okay, and then supposedly all immigrants is illegal. Like no, they ain't.
Thank you, Ghetto George. So you said that immigrants are not all Latinos. A lot of times people do assume that, but there are other races and other cultures that are Irish, Italians, Chinese, Koreans, that immigrants are taking all of our jobs. And then the last one you said that immigrants came here illegally, when a lot of the times it's just the working visas that they came into the country with, they expired and then they're still here, which, I don't know if that constitutes it as illegal immigrants. Okay, so for the next lesson, it's hate and bullying. So hate usually leads to bullying, so I want you to tell me what are 3 reasons for hate, like 3 causes for hate. Thank you.
Well, I mean, I would say one of the things would be like anger. Like if you're upset at something, you're gonna let that thing get in your way, like get the best of you. I would say jealousy. Because if you're like envious of something, like you're gonna let that envy grow, and then eventually you're gonna hate somebody or that certain thing. And ignorance. If you're ignorant, like you it's easy, like it's really easy to hate what you don't know, and if you aren't educated about something, then you're really not saying the right things at the right time. You don't understand it, and I mean, it's easy not to like something if you don't know what it is.
Okay, thank you, Emo George. So you said anger, ignorance, and jealousy. So those are really good, actually. All right, and so the next lesson, it's going to be race and racism. So I want you to tell me about a time, if you don't mind, when you feel like you've experienced racism.
Well, me personally, I wasn't born here in the U.S., so it's always been tough for me. When I was in elementary, like kids would always like pick on me. Even when I went up to middle school and high school, it was different because everybody saw me as like an illegal person, like an alien. Like why am I here? Like what's the point of me being here? I'm not gonna go anywhere type thing. And I always thought that was racist. Like saying like stuff like that, like hurt me, hurt my parents. They called me a delinquent. Like I wasn't doing anything wrong, but to people's eyes, I was a delinquent, and I personally didn't feel like that was right. I had to deal with that stuff for years, and it was constant bullying, constant like people making fun of my immigration status, and like just constantly putting me down. And like I don't think it was because I was made illegal. It was mostly because like I was born in Mexico. Like to me that's racism. You shouldn't be putting someone else down just because they're different from you or they believe in different things.
I'm really sorry that you experienced things like that. I know a lot of kids should never grow up, with those types of experiences. I know that's just really bad for the mind. I've experienced stuff like that too. When I was in 6th grade, I went from a school that from the not so nice side of town to a really nice side of town. There was a majority of white students there, and when I got there, they automatically put me in ESL classes as if I didn't know how to speak English. They never tested me, they never asked me, they just automatically assumed because I am a Latino that I don't know how to speak English. So they pulled me out of my math classes, and I had to go to ESL classes. And I aced the class, but the upsetting thing was I was never given a chance. And it's racist because I knew how to speak English. I know how to speak English really well, and they never gave me the chance to excel in things like math because of their opinions. All right, and so if you could avoid racism like that, like you could teach students not to be racist in the younger settings, how would you do that?
I would say the best way to do it is probably like multiculturalism. When kids are younger, they imitate what their like grown ups do, what their older brothers and families do. So if you start off young and like showing them like this is right and this is wrong, this African American or this Asian person, like they're the same as me. We're all equal. If you teach them that from like the very beginning, then that's gonna be something that they learn from their lives. That's gonna be their beliefs for the rest of their lives because that's what they learned as a child. So I would say the best thing is just like in a classroom, like just show multiculturalism, show like that everybody's equal, that nobody here is different from me because we're all equal. Like not there's no white superiority, there's no black superiority. It's all being one, being a multicultural group, being united as one.
Okay, George, I really want to thank you for sharing. That was very insightful. And then to the rest of the other two students that participated, I want to thank you guys too. I hope you guys learned a lot from this. I think it was a very good lesson, and that concludes the rest of our class. Thank you.